Hello everyone, welcome back. Today, we continue with the series Girl Rule. Let's begin. What was the reason Prim could never stay away from Bambi? Today, she finally understood. Bambi had always been like a lost kitten, stubborn, spoiled, demanding, always craving attention, and with a habit of disappearing without warning. But in the end, that kitten always returned to the same place. The place where she felt safe, where she was cared for, where she received warmth and love. That place was Prim. For Prim, Bambi was never just someone temporary. She was the one she could never grow tired of, or rather, someone she never wanted to grow tired of. Every time Prim found her, Bambi was alone, fragile, like someone lost in the rain. Even though she could hurt her, even though she sometimes left deep emotional scars, Prim could never just walk past her. She always ended up bringing her back home. It was a completely illogical relationship, something that bordered on being toxic. Prim knew it. She couldn't lie to herself and call it a healthy love, but at the same time, it wasn't something she could easily let go of. There was an invisible thread connecting them, fragile yet impossible to break. No matter how far apart they went or how much time passed, that connection remained. Maybe it was deep attachment, maybe understanding, or maybe something neither of them could fully explain. If it was like Min once said, then maybe it really was karma, and Prim was starting to believe it. Bambi kept crying uncontrollably until Prim couldn't take it anymore. In the end, she brought her back to her room. That night felt different. Prim went to take a shower, washing away the weight of the day, then changed into comfortable clothes. When she came out, Bambi was still awake, lost in her thoughts. Prim quietly prepared a place for her to sleep and covered her gently with a blanket, but the night felt long, and her mind wouldn't rest. She kept thinking about how she would explain everything to Min the next day, how Bambi had come back into her life again. After a while, Prim gave Bambi some clothes to change into. When she returned, Prim sat her down and began drying her hair softly. After a long silence, Bambi spoke in a quiet, guilty voice. "I'm sorry, you shouldn't have to carry all this because of me." Bambi rarely apologized, and when she did, it was sincere. Prim smiled gently and replied, "It's okay. I was wrong too for bringing you back when you said you didn't want to return." Then, Bambi opened up about her life. She admitted that she lived without having to struggle for anything, and because of that, she didn't even know if she was incapable or if she never tried. Prim listened carefully, then said softly, "Keep trying in your own way. One day, your mom will see your sincerity, and even if she doesn't, others will. And even if no one sees it, you will. As long as you're proud of yourself, no one else's words will matter." Silence filled the room. Then, Bambi reached out and held Prim's hand. Prim paused, surprised, and looked at her. Bambi stood up and faced her directly. "If I knew being your friend would feel this good, I would have been your friend a long time ago." Prim smiled. Bambi smiled back. "We can be friends, real friends, very close friends." But then Bambi's tone changed slightly. There was hesitation in her voice. "If we're friends like this, I think I can still stay by your side." Prim sighed softly and nodded. "Yes, we can still support each other. Otherwise, we might just keep hurting each other." Then Bambi asked something unexpected. "What if we stay friends, but don't completely let go of everything between us?" Prim looked at her, surprised. "You mean we won't be lovers, just friends?" Bambi replied calmly, almost as if she had already thought it through. "If I disappear again, it won't hurt you the same way." Prim silenced. She had promised herself she wouldn't fall into something toxic again, but this wasn't exactly love anymore. It wasn't a clear relationship either. It was something in between. And maybe, without expectations, there would be less pain. Even if she wasn't sure it was the right decision, she still accepted it. As soon as Prim finished speaking, Bambi leaned closer and wrapped her arms around her, pulling her into a quiet, emotional moment. Memories rushed back instantly. Everything they had shared, everything they had missed, it all came flooding in. Even after all this time apart, no one else had ever made them feel the same way. There was something about Bambi, something that always brought her back. And in that moment, neither of them spoke, because deep down, they both knew, no matter what they called their relationship, they still couldn't truly let each other go. That's it for today's spoiler. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Take care and see you in the next video.